Hey, good morning, everyone. Scary here. I'm gonna do a short one today. I got a rant. I got to get on my soapbox. Hold on, let me climb up on this thing. Yeah, see, I got a soapbox. I get on my soapbox and talk when I start ranting, so I'm up on my soapbox. Um, in case no one knows from listening to some of my past episodes, I'm a Bengal fan. I'm a huge Cincinnati Bengal fan, and I've just turned my back on them this year. I turned my back on them because they suck. They suck dick. And I want to go into a little bit about that and why I'm pissed about it. For people out there that follow NFL per se, or just are Bengal fans that happen to live in the same city I live in, Cincinnati, Ohio. I started out by saying, Hamilton County approved a couple of extensions for the Cincinnati Bengals. The stadium they play in used to be called Mike Brown Stadium, and then a couple of years ago they changed the name to Paycor Stadium for more money for the team, royalties and shit like that, putting the name Paycor on it. So it's now Paycor Stadium. It's a nice stadium. It's a nice open-air stadium. But the Bengals, according to the Bengals, Mike Brown and his family, because they all run the team, they own the team, that's not enough. They want renovations on the stadium. It's like a 20-year-old stadium, but they want renovations on the stadium. And Mike Brown doesn't want to pay anything out of pocket. Mike Brown's net worth, I looked that up the other day, he has $4 billion to his name. That's his net worth. $4 billion fucking dollars. But yes, but yet he wants to ask Hamilton County Board of Trustees or whoever, commission, for more money to improve stadium improvements. He doesn't own the stadium, the city does. But he wants to ask the city for more money. I looked it up. I did some research. The Hamilton County, they voted to agree on stadium improvements for $470 million. That's a drop in the bucket for Mr. Brown. Far be it for him to stick any money in his pocket, write a check, take it out of the taxpayers. But yet, and it said a $470 million, they've agreed to give him that money, but not raise taxes? Bullshit. Come the fuck on. They said, we're not going to raise taxes for Hamilton County taxpayers. Bullshit. They're going to slide it in there somewhere. They say it's like it's the old bait and switch, we're not gonna take any money out of your taxes for it. They're gonna find somewhere. There'll be some clause in there where they bilk us for it. I guarantee it. Where else are you gonna get the money? They'll take it out on something. What the Hamilton County's gonna, out of the goodness of their heart, take money out of their accounts? Take money away from places that need it, like schools or infrastructure, and give it to the fucking Bengals that are losing? This is the third year in a row that they've missed the fucking playoffs. Mike Brown, $4 billion net worth. Hamilton County approving an extension on the lease till 2036. They got them locked in till 2036. I don't have the answers. I don't have the crystal ball. I worked for a very good company for 36 years. Self-sustained. Grocery company, grocery store, self-sustained industry. They never had to ask Hamilton County for extra money to help them out. That's just it's a vicious cycle. The NFL is a vicious organization. It's twisted. I think it's rigged. I think a lot of the games are fucking rigged. I can go on about that, but I'm not going to discuss that today. I mean, it's rigged. It's rigged. A lot of play calling is rigged. I tell you how you get rid of that. You take away all the referees and you put AI out there. You put AI, like 4 spots on one side of the field and 4 spots on the other side of the field, and you program into AI all the rules of the game. And then the computer's AI, they learn it like now. And any play calling, any flag, any face mask, any illegal blocking, any encroachment, any offsides, it's called by AI. But they won't do that. Why? Because probably people get to the rest and say, hey, keep it fair, keep it fair, keep it fair. Hey, I'll make it worth your while. Make the play calling fair, but hey, we wanna make sure our team wins. See what I mean? See what I mean? Nudge, nudge, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. You know what goes on. You know what fucking goes on. They've been fixing sports since I was born. I was born in 1960. They've been fixing sports way before that. I don't know. It's a racket. So anyway, I'm going to go back into the Bengals. I know I ranted. I had to rant. And there's way more content. And I watch TV. I watch ESPN. I watch them sticking the mics and fans that have gone to Bengal games. They're wearing bags over their head again. The bag heads are back. Fucking Bengals. So they paid all these guys this money. Okay, Mike Brown agreed to start. They agreed to pay Joe Burrow. They paid him a bunch of money. They paid him Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow went to the Browns and said, well, if you're gonna give me the money, but I want my wide receivers, my weapons, I want them paid long-term contracts. And I think that was last year he did that. And so Mike Brown and company, they paid Jamar Chase a bunch of money, and they paid T. Higgins a bunch of money. So you got all the guys, he's got all his weapons with money. What happened this year? Well, Joe got hurt again. Joe gets hurt every year. I mean, if you haven't noticed. Of course, if you're not a Bengal fan, you're not from Cincinnati, obviously you don't keep track. We keep track. Joe Burrow's been in the league for 7 years, and every year he gets hurt. Every year he gets hurt. He doesn't have an O-line. It's like a sieve. It's like the Olay offense. Down said, Olay! Down said, Olay! Go kill our quarterback. Joe Burrow's been sacked 219 times in 7 years. 219 fucking times he's been on his back because he has no O-line. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox on that one. But I mean, the Bengals suck. They suck dick. This year they have won 4 games and they've lost 10. And I hope they lose the rest of their games. Why not? The team is imploding on them right now. And I know what's going on. I don't have a crystal ball. This is my opinion. And what do they say about opinions? They're like assholes. Everyone's got one. This is my opinion. I don't think the players respect Zach Taylor. Well, I know they don't. Well, people say, well, they got, and I said this in my NFL episode, that he got us to a Super Bowl. Well, he did, but he also had a really stacked team. We had a stacked team. We had a stacked roster. We had a good year. We lost the Super Bowl, but we got there. And Zach Taylor took all the glory, took all the credit. Oh, I'm Zach Taylor. I've changed the culture in the locker room. I give out game balls in the locker room when we win. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Who cares about a game ball? With all the fucking money these guys, they can go to fucking Play It Again Sports and buy a dozen game balls. Oh, I got a game ball. Oh, boy. My coachy, he gave me a game ball because I done good on the field. Yeah. Who gives a fuck about a game ball? So Zach Taylor came in as head coach. He goes, oh, I'm going to change the culture. I'm going to change the culture. I'm going to ping pong. I'm going to put a ping pong table or two in the locker room and team unity. Team unity. Everyone's going to get along. Team unity. Team unity and ping pong tables and all the fucking tea in China is not going to get you to a Super Bowl. So here we are now in 2025. What happened to all the team unity and the culture change, Zach? You had the Brown organization fire all of your coaches last year. I think he fired all the coaches under Zach Taylor were fired and replaced. So it would take the heat off of Zach Taylor, because Zach Taylor's ass was on the chopping block last year. He goes, well, fire this guy, fire that guy, and hire these guys, and hire these guys, and hire these guys. Well, the guys we hired are worse than the guys we fired. It reflects in their fucking record this year. They suck. So what's happening? No one, Jamar Chase is now a team captain, so he can't speak his mind. Joe Burrow, he's a class act all the way. Joe Burrow's a class act. He's not going to speak his mind when the mic is in his face. T. Higgins is a class act. These guys, these professionals, they're class acts. These guys aren't thugs. I think we have some good guys on our team. But, they're smelling it. They're smelling it. They're smelling the shit where it's coming from. They know Zach Taylor's not a very good coach. And he knows that his coaches around him are not very good coaches. I mean, they're showing their ass. Every dog has his day. You know, we've got these extensions from Hamilton County. He's approved these extensions and improvements for the stadium. And we got a new practice field. We've had a new practice, and we got a dome over the practice field. All the money's being spent in the right places for the stadium. Mike Brown's daughter, Katie Blackburn, she's like the vice president of the company. She's a sharp lady. She's got a great head on her shoulders. She's going full on Bengals. Go Bengals. They got those cool-ass white helmets and white uniforms. I mean, everything on one side is positive about the Bengals, but the fucking product in the field sucks ass. It's not because the Bengals suck. It's just they've given up on the coach. I have friends say, well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And we're all talking over a cup of coffee or a donut. We're talking. And I say the same thing every year. They've given up on their head coach. And the only way that they're going to get rid of that head coach is to quit playing football. Joe Burrow has thrown like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I think 5 or 6 interceptions in the past 2 games. He doesn't do that shit. Joe Burrow throws dimes. Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in the entire NFL. Why is he throwing interceptions? I can tell you why he's throwing interceptions. And then when they put a mic in his face at the end of the game, he takes all the heat. Oh, yes, I got to play better. I got to play better. You don't need to play better. You're already the king. He's doing it on purpose. He's doing it on purpose. I think he's losing on purpose. T. Higgins has dropped some key passes. Jamar Chase is dropping key passes. Plays are being missed. Defense is folding. Defense is like a sieve. We got good defensive guys. They aren't playing. Now they're all laying down. Watch the games. If you're not a Bengal fan, and I get it, if you're from LA or if you're from St. Louis or you're from fucking, Buffalo or Kansas City or whatever, where you got real teams up there. We're better than you guys. We're better than any team in the NFL. But they're proving a point. It's called mutiny. That's what I call it, mutiny. They're fleeing. They're fleeing the ship. They're jumping off the ship full of rats. And they're leaving the king, the fucking head coach, and his fucking band of fools. Because they don't want to play for those guys anymore. They don't believe in him. They don't believe in Zach Taylor. They don't believe in Al Golden, the offensive or the defensive coordinator. They don't believe in those guys. And you can't play for someone you don't believe in. When I was with the company I worked for 36 years, in my tenure, I had about 3 or 4 head meat cutters that I wouldn't work for because they were pieces of shit. They talked out of both sides of their mouth. They talked about other employees in the department. They didn't do their job. They made everyone else do their work, and they laid down on them, and their sales were low. The last guy I worked for, his name was Roger. I'm not going to say his last name on here, but he's highly respected. I also worked for a guy in a different district called Robert. He's highly respected. These guys have been around long enough, and they know. They know how to get the most out of their people. They don't talk shit about people. They work as hard as the rest of their people work. They're team players. When you're a team playing coach, guess what happens? Your team wants to win. So we're going to give out game balls after the game. Hey, guys, we're all going to gather around. Gather around, guys. I'm Zach Taylor. I got a big old bag of game balls. I got a lot of game balls to give away. The past couple games that they won, won 4 games. But there was the last locker room celebration they had was when they won their 4th game. And the air was out of the tire, man. There was no thumping into the chest. These players thumping their chest, high-fiving and cheering. They were all. It was like a funeral procession in the locker room. No one cares. You can see in the faces of the players in the locker room. They don't want to listen to the buffoon Zach Taylor talk and booyah touchdown. No, you can see in their faces and the way they act in the locker rooms. They're done. Something happened, and we'll never hear it. Because, like I said, Joe Burrow's a class act. T. Higgins is a class act. All those guys are class acts. They're not gonna throw them under the bus. How are they going to do it? They're going to show it on the field. Something deeper is going on in the organization for the Bengals. We'll never know. But the way they're playing on the football field, they're showing it. I think they've lost respect for the coaching staff. Maybe they've lost respect for the ownership. I don't know. But there's something else deeper going on. If the Bengals are spending all this money and asking for extensions and asking for improvements, and they're doing these improvements on the field and off the field for the team, for the community, we got the best fan base in the entire NFL. We got great fans. I mean, yeah, I'm ranting today. I've been stewing over this, man. It's like a fucking nail in my craw. It pisses me off. We should be in the playoffs every year. We should be Super Bowl contenders every fucking year with the team we have. The best fucking quarterback in the NFL. That's all I got. All right, I'm going to get going with my day. Fucking cold as tits in Cincinnati again. That's all right. It's supposed to be. It's winter time. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Hold on, let me get off this thing. God damn, that thing's... I got to get a smaller soapbox. Listen, hey, thanks for listening to me rant. I'm good at it. I hope something gets done. We need some changes. Something's got to give. All right, you all have a fantastic day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out.